Hi guys, welcome back to the Raw Light podcast. My name is Danielle Baker and thank you for being here today. I have decided to do this podcast outside in the sunshine. I honestly don't know why it's taken me this long to be able to do the potty outside. I honestly think I've just been really lazy and I am realizing this. This week I have deleted social media. I deleted it 2 days ago and I only just go on there to check my messages and then I hop off. I actually didn't realize how consuming my life has been in the last 12 months with social media. And basically, I use it as a pathway to connect with other women and people for me to do my work. But I've noticed that I've lost a bit of my own energy and feeling really low by going on social media constantly. I actually feel exhausted at the end of the day because my life feels a little bit stagnant at the moment. I live obviously on a farm, if you don't know about that. We're currently looking at a house in Gelton to live in for a while. We have a bit of a 5-year plan, so Gelton for 5 years, then possibly back to Perth. In between, we are going to be doing some things. We've got a couple of rental houses that we're wanting to kind of play with, so Gelton allows us to kind of build up a structure for us to be able to do that. So we're really looking forward to doing that, especially myself. I obviously have grown up on a farm, but I've gone away and I do love the city. I do love Perth, but when I moved back, I realised that I wasn't really in a good, strong headspace to be back in Perth. It's really funny because I was advocating for Perth and my husband was advocating for Gelton, so we were both advocating for different things. So it took us a good, I would say, 2 to 3 months to come to a good conclusion of what we wanted to do. And we're upgrading in all levels of our life at the moment. I had a car crash a couple of weeks ago, probably a month ago now, and we've just had to upgrade cars, which we were totally fine with, but we've learnt a lot about finance and different things, and that's been really, really cool. And obviously I'm turning 30 in August, I'm finishing off my masters, there's a lot kind of happening behind the scenes, and I thought today that I would kind of go into a few little things, and then I thought it'd be really cool to do a bit of a meditation with you guys. I've never done anything on here with everybody, so I'll see how I go at doing it without music and stuff in between. Normally my voice, I can kind of put you under a bit of a hypnotized sort of situation to help you go into your body, so I will let you know if you're wanting to lay down and listen to this at any point when we get up to that. But so I've had a pretty fucking hectic week. Let's start off with that. We had a family kind of gathering a couple of weeks ago and Oakley got viral tonsillitis. So we ended up making a trip to the hospital, and she ended up being not being able to swallow her spit and stuff like that. I think we spent 4 nights with her screaming, so she slept with us in our bed, which we've never done. Actually, we've done a few times when she's needed us. So whenever she's really needed us, we've allowed her to do that. She actually sleeps really well in between Josh and myself, feeling safe and secure. So yeah, today is probably the most normal day that I've had in about a week. It was pretty hectic, touch and go with the temperature and all that. So yeah, being a mum. But I want to cross over now to also one thing I really realised is that I was spending too much time on social media, and when I first had Oakley, it was a way for me to escape and feel like my life wasn't unheaved so much. Becoming a mum really, I have spoken about this before, but it really did pull the weight out of me, and it really did. I am a completely different person than I was when I first had Oakley, which is totally expected. It's been a year, it's been 13 months now since we've had her, and you do become a different person, and you are a different person, I would say. If not, it's very questionable about why you would say that you're not, trying to stay in that whole who I used to be, and those types of things. Sorry guys, if you heard that noise in the background, that was just my mum calling me about our car, so I just had to sort that out. Yeah, it's been a big phase of things, but I noticed that social media was basically my safety blanket through the last year. Also being out on the farm and being with Oakley, I was really unsure about how to just be with myself. like living out here, I'm on my own basically all day. I see Josh maybe once or twice when he's not doing seeding and harvest, and when he's doing seeding and harvest, I don't see him basically at all. So that's basically 2 months on my own. My mum travels a lot, so she's not really around out here. And the same for my dad, he pops in and out and stuff like that. So it is pretty isolating if you've never lived on a farm. This is the funny thing. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, people don't realize that living on a farm is not as like amazing as they think it is, unless you are that type of person that has a small property and has a bunch of vegetables and those types of things like in the place, which, because Josh and I knew that this wasn't our forever home, we haven't really put much effort into those things, because we knew that whatever house we got next, we wanted to really, really build that house to be our home, if that makes sense. So this is like an intimate sort of home. So we're really looking forward to kind of like building that. And we wanted to also see if farming was something that we wanted to do forever. And it's probably not the lifestyle for us. For people that don't know, it's a pretty hardcore lifestyle. Like, yes, you do get time off when you're not setting and harvest, and when it's go time, it's go time. But like I said too, recently I was talking to one of my cousins that lives across the road. She said to me, like, they finished seeding and it took them 2 months, and then after that they've had to do spreading and spraying, and that's also basically like they're in seeding. They leave at 6, they don't get home until 7 or 7:30, and you get an hour with them, and that's basically it. And that's been the same for me as well. But we're lucky that we had a heap of like rain, so that's helped heaps. The rain has been amazing. I'm not complaining, but if you have spoken to a farmer, you will probably know that now that it's so wet, the guys can't actually put heavy machinery on there. So there's just been so much that's been happening behind the scenes. So that's basically what's been happening in between my life. So yeah, that's the farming and the living side of things. My spiritual stuff, basically, I had to put that on hold because we had a lot of physical stuff that I needed to get sorted in my physical life, with my husband, with our family, like our personal family, with what we were doing, where we were going next. I don't think you guys will ever understand, and nor should you, the fact that there is so much nitty-gritty that happens when you are in such a committed relationship with each other. Like, I love my husband. I'm so in love with my husband. Like, that I don't think will ever change in my life. Is there times where I want to strangle him? Yes, there is. It does frustrate me. I am and can be a very, very level-headed person in our relationship, believe it or not. Most people that know me would be like, I've had quite a few people being like, Josh is definitely the more cruisier one. With certain things, yes. With other things, no, he's not actually. He's quite strong-headed, which I love that about him. He really rises to the occasion with me. But if he is in a panic, I need to be on a level-headed, and the same for me. If I'm in a panic, he needs to balance. We balance each other out really well. I don't want you guys to feel like you're getting sick of me talking about my relationship and my life and those types of things, but I'm building up to a reason. So I will jump back onto the whole social media thing now, because that's where I was kind of leading. I noticed that it was affecting my life, my relationships. I literally have not sat outside. Like, I've been doing workouts outside, but actually when Oakley's sleeping, sitting outside and enjoying being in the sun, not for like a year or so. And even when I was pregnant, I was so hot and heavy with Oakley, I couldn't even sit out in the sun. I really miss connecting with nature. Nature is a big part of my work, and I work with nature. So I was literally sitting out here with Oakley before because she was loving it, and she was sitting on the chair watching me kind of play, which was like super, super fun. And I was just like sitting there, like just having a really, really good time with her. And we had like a blast, to be honest. She loves the outdoors, and I love the outdoors as well. So it's been pretty fun to do lots of outdoors activities and things. When she was sick, she was really upset because she couldn't go outside, and that really broke my heart, because I know how much she loves just wandering out there and looking at rocks and sticks and playing and those types of things. So yeah, it's been really good. I noticed that social media was literally sucking my energy, because I haven't really affirmed with myself in ages without a screen in front of me. And that's really hard for me to say, because
when I lived in Perth or when I lived in Chilton, I barely touched my phone. I was on it a bit, I will admit it, but I wasn't to the point. Like, I used to come home, I would meditate, I would have a bath, I would eat dinner, I would do yoga, and then I would go to sleep. That was like a routine for me before I met Josh for a really long time. Where I lived in Margaret River too, I had like no signal. So I basically couldn't really watch any TV or anything like that. And I didn't. I was always out doing something and busy, and that was good and it was bad as well. Um, so yeah, I've allowed social media to run my life a little bit too much for the last couple of years. And I'm realizing, and I've known this for years, the energy behind what we do is really important. And I know for a fact that this is probably going to be the best thing that I can ever do is get onto getting off social media for a while. I won't be back on social media until maybe Adelaide or after Adelaide, after I go do my master's for 3 days in Adelaide. So we are going away, just so everyone knows. I won't be on the podcast probably for about 2 weeks. Um, or I might pre-record and then drop them for you guys. But I'm thinking I might take a little 2 week breather and then can come back and tell you exactly what's been happening. We've got our honeymoon in Tasmania, and then we've got Adelaide with my masters. Adelaide is one of my favourite places. My brother played football there for a really long time, and I went and visited him a lot. The energy there is super fun. I actually have been there quite a few times in Adelaide, and I've had really beautiful experiences there. So yeah, I just feel like I don't really know who I am without social media, and I'm really enjoying not being on there. My connection with like my husband and my daughter, like Oakley and I painted this morning and we did other things, and also I got up and did like exercise and just stuff that like basically I would just sit on my phone and just like, if I was tired, I would basically do the same thing. So I'm not a, I was, I'm going to be, I like being honest because I want you guys to know that I don't live a perfect life where I used to meditate a lot, and I've dropped back to once a day, and sometimes it's only for 10 minutes, but that's all I kind of need to check in. I haven't really had the space to really go into things unless it's at night time, and I like to spend a bit of time with my husband. So I'm trying to find the balance at the moment. Really, social media doesn't have a place in my life at this very point. It probably will later on, but not right now. And also, to be honest, word of mouth is how I've been getting my clients. It actually hasn't been on social. So I'm like, I need to start refocusing my energy to expand it out where I am right now. Because, like you guys, if you have listened to last week's episode, you would see that basically if you do expand your energy out and focus on yourself, people and clients find you because you're in the flow of your own energy. Which is really, really important, especially with the work that I do. And it's important to me because somebody that can pull in the energy and pull in clients when they're not on any sort of social media or doing anything like that, or they're rarely on social media, they're the people that you want to work with because they basically show you and tell you that they're authentic. Now, there is a point of being able to sell yourself on social media, which is great and all those types of things. But if it's not coming from a really authentic place, then that's when you have a problem. And for me, I'm finding that I have, like, honestly, today I've had lots of different creativity work that's popped up for my business. And it's because I'm not jamming social media down my face to fill in that time and waste that time. I'm now realizing that I probably should have given it up a couple of months ago, but I think that it got me through a place and a space of just like challenging physical times when I was trying to shuffle through some things with my partner and my life and those types of things. And sometimes it's a good like little escapism to kind of just like find the funny things in life. And also, I want to be very clear on here that I am very, very happily in my marriage. I'm very happily in my life. My husband is one of the best, is my best friend, and we have so much fun. But also, we also have those challenges in our life, like any couple. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like a lot of people probably think that I have a problem with my husband or something because I'm always talking about the challenges, but I'm just a very realistic person. I always have, and I always will be a very realistic person. And I feel that a lot of people might take that the wrong way. I'm a very honest and open person. I'm real and very realistic about life. Like when a couple of my girlfriends ask me, and people that don't have babies, what it's like to have babies and stuff, I kind of go to like the parts that are difficult because I want you to know the honest truth. It is a beautiful process becoming a mum, but it's a fucking hard job becoming a parent. And anybody who says otherwise is lying because it is fucking hard. It's challenging. You've got all the challenges that come with it. You've got social media that is doing everything with it. You know, you've got people in the street telling you certain things. One of my best mates who has twins, she was like, oh my God, the boys are having a bit of an emotional development. And somebody said to me recently, you look like you have your hands full, look at them, or something on the lines of those. And she was just like, you fucking kidding me? Like, can you not say that? Like, it's not appreciated, and people don't appreciate those comments. I don't even appreciate those comments. I don't like it when Oakley is labeled as a easy, good baby. What a wonderful child she is. She is beautiful. She is magical. She is strong. She is powerful. But labeling her to be this perfect child so that you can feel the basically what you've learned in your life, so whatever that is not going to slide in my life, and I don't really like it and I don't appreciate it because I like to be real and authentic about things, and I cannot handle being around people that can't be authentic about stuff like just life. I don't have to know the ins and out of your life, but I do appreciate it when people are very authentic and they're like, hey, it is fucking tough. Hey, I've been having challenges. So I've got a very small friend group for that reason. The people that are very honest about how tough it is and asking for help from people. And also, we're all just mums navigating life, and there is nothing worse. And before I became a mum, I didn't actually realize how annoying it was when people came up with ideas that don't actually have kids, because I used to do it to my brother and my sister-in-law, and they would be super respectful, but at the same time it was kind of like, you don't have kids, you don't know what it's like to actually deal with it. And they were right, I didn't, until now that we've had Oakley. Both Josh and I were like, wow, we were really in over our head thinking we knew exactly like what we were doing, because we had no clue at all. We were trying to play it by ear. That's like when mums get offered like people to make them food and those types of things, and they reject it and say that they're okay and they'll do fine. I'm like, honestly, if Josh and I both said if we could go back, we would be like, yes, please. We would love to just lay on the couch again all day and just like, I would feed Bub and then just eat and then feed and then eat. I would be totally different to what I was like this time, because it was all new and I was very afraid and I was very scared, and I let my mind get on top of me. Next time we have a baby, I have like a semi plan of like beforehand of me doing like workouts with Pilates, strengthening my body up, making sure that I'm, swimming and those types of things. And like, because we were out on the farm, it was really hard for me to keep a strong sense of, self. And I was in my head every day, all day, basically for a year. Imagine that. Imagine living at home. It's isolated. You live an hour and 15 minutes away from proper society, like people that you genuinely connect with. We have people out here, yes, and I have a beautiful family out here, yes, but like actually seeing them every day, all day is a different thing. When was the last time that you went out to basically the desert and saw no one for like a while? I've stayed out here on my own when Oakley was really little as a baby on my own, when Josh had to go do things, like it's a very isolating. It's a very isolating world, and I really did struggle with it for a really long time. Just being able to go down and walk to the beach, or getting out of the house and walking to the park and then going home and resting, like that doesn't exist in my world. It is also, if you're not from Australia, or if you are, Mullawa is basically so we're in winter right now, and it's been the wettest winter we've had since the 80s, but the summers are fucking scorching. So it's basically, the lowest will be like, some nights it's 29 degrees and the highest can get up to 49. So nearly 50 degrees. That's really, really fucking hot. Um, and it's the same like all year round. So basically, from when we hit September, probably the end of October, mid-October, all the way until February, March. It's normally fucking scorching and very, very hot out here. So basically right now I'm enjoying going outside with Oakley. We're doing things. When that comes around next time, it's not going to be as easy. We will have to go to Geraldton and be there for a bulk of the time because it will just be too hot out here. The only bonus about here is that we have air cons in the bedrooms. In Geraldton we don't have that, but the house is fairly cool. So, there is plus and minuses about everything. Also, let me be very clear. I'm very grateful for the way that I live, the way that we've been able to start as a family and the way that we've been able to ground into ourselves. This is all the realizations I've had since getting off social media. I really didn't know how much it was affecting like my mind and my brain. And I was super like shocked to kind of realize that it was actually affecting me more than I thought. And I've got all these like really good, groovy ideas and like things flowing through me to share with you guys now because I'm able to tap into that creativity and into my spiritual self again because I don't feel like I'm clogged. And the hardest part is I actually didn't actually follow too many people on Instagram, but the people that I did follow, I admired really like for the way that they help the world. And then it was also making me feel like I'm not in that season that they're in. It was making me feel really crusty and icky. And it just made me feel like I should have been doing things quicker. So I'm glad that I have stepped away and I'm glad that I'm taking some time with things. So yeah, it's been a really big process for me and it's continuing to really unravel. I think I'm really, really in love with the way that I am as a mother and the mother that I'm becoming again and again every time Oakley goes through different stages. It's a really fun time. We have a lot of fun and yeah, I'm just enjoying things for they are. And also in the hard times, I was saying this to one of my friends this morning. I said to her, I really can't go. I haven't had sleep in a week, but I'm feeling pretty good because I haven't been on social media. So I'm like juggling my energy really well and I actually thrive. My energy, I'm a bit of a night owl without actually knowing it. My energy pings at night time. Like it's like a fucking channel, just like leaks through whatever comes through sort of thing. And so for me, I haven't really had trouble with like, it's only in the mornings that I really struggle, but then when I get going, I'm fine, or I just move through it and just keep pushing through it. But I have like complained a little bit because Oakley was so sick and it was really, really hard when you have a crying baby and you also can't give them anything to help them besides Panadol and Nurofen. And I was a bit icky about the whole Nurofen situation, but it was the only thing that could actually help her with the viral infection. Antibiotics don't actually help. So for me, it was a big lesson in that and learning, which has been kind of great. But when I complained, I said to my girlfriend, you know what, I'm actually really fucking lucky though. Oakley is very healthy normally. Me and Josh have our health. We have a house over our head in this trying time. We have, we've got food on the table. We can afford to have food. We have a really strong mindset about life and where we're going and what we're doing. A lot of people don't. Like, I look at life like that. I actually look at life like I'm very grateful. People in Africa, not even in Africa, in Australia, people in America, people in Canada, the first world countries, still have people that are being treated like a third world person. So I still feel for everybody. I start to think about those things when I start to go down a bit of a spiral. I feel for the Aboriginal Torres Strait Island people and the way that they've been pushed to the side. It really disappoints me that we can't like figure out a way to allow them to lead. It's very important in the next time and the next generation for them to, you know what, I don't even like to say that. We are one. We are one body, one soul. I only see people as souls. I see everybody as unique and they are who they are. And that's fine. I see more souls than I see physical form because when you see a soul, you can really see into them and you see who they really are behind the mask of the world that we have been basically told to be. So it's really important. in those times that I have to remember that I'm very lucky to be where I am this lifetime. I'm lucky to have experienced everything that I have. I'm so grateful for my life. I'm not even joking you with that. I feel genuinely grateful in my heart for my life because not only have I been through challenging times, I can say that going through those challenging times, I have come out in a positive, strong person in this life. And yes, I'm very lucky to have support from people that love me. I know that. And but even then, I didn't even want to take their support when they wanted to give it to me. Wanted to do everything myself, wanted to be the bigger person and look at me, I'm so grown up, sort of thing. Till I realized that there's times when you need to allow people to give you help when you really need it. And then there's times when you can step up and be in your own power and in who you are. I'm really loving the fact that by taking my time off social media, I've actually in tuned myself so much, and I basically have had an awakening where obviously I realized that most women in this world will be happy to emasculate men and stay in that state. And that's totally fine because I was in that state for a very, very, very long time until I realized that was only in the last month that was affecting me in my life, and it shifted and changed. So I'm grateful for that knowledge, but I couldn't see that unless I'd done the work on myself to actually see that it was put right in front of me. And because of that, I unlocked the next level. I actually felt that. I unlocked the next level because it was like, have you guys ever had something where you've been told 1,000 times, but until your penny, your own penny, so it's like your own penny all of a sudden drops and you're like, wow, I understand that now. Shit, I didn't understand that 6 months ago or 12 months before that because you weren't supposed to. It was in your records for you to level up at this certain time, but you needed to go through everything that you've gone through. So if you have something in your life right now that keeps popping up, that keeps circulating, and you're like, fuck me, this thing keeps coming up, these people keep telling me the same things, instead of like thinking that they're attacking you, take a step back and go, wow, is this actually me or is it them? Is it me or is it them? Do I need to take a look at myself or is it them? I feel really solid within myself right now. So the other day, I was having a conversation with one of my family members and they said something to me. And they're like, well, you're just triggered by me because, you know, all this, they just said something. And I turned around and said, hey, actually, I think it might be the other way around because I'm not angry and I just genuinely didn't feel angry, didn't feel upset. I said, I think it might be you that is going through something right now. And what do you think? And we discussed it a little bit further. And they were like, yeah, actually, you are right. It is something I have a fear and I have forgotten to check in on you and actually have a conversation with you about how you were going and how you were feeling about it. And I said, yes. So it wasn't me, it was them. And I checked in with myself and I didn't have, normally if I'm triggered, I have anger, I have frustration, I get really angry and frustrated. And really annoyed. And this time I didn't. I was literally like, sweet, all good, no stress, like that type of thing. So yeah, it's really important to know when you are triggered and when you're not, and know your little like bits. And then if you are triggered, take a look at why you need to learn that trigger. It's really important for you to go, wow, I do need to look at this trigger because keeps coming up and other people have mentioned it too. You know, your ego is going to fight against it too. Your mind's going to be like, it's not you, it's them. It's not you, it's them. Don't listen to them. You know, this is bullshit. This is fucking, you know, I know when I'm going through a really tough time, especially in like our relationship, that I know that it's a leveling up situation. Both of us are going through a bit of a leveling up and we need to work with each other to get where we need to go. Before we would just butt heads. Josh and I are very strong people. And like I would trigger his mother wound and he would trigger basically my father wound in me, and we would both come at each other. And until we kind of both of us recognize that there is a bit of things that we both needed to work on, that we could kind of come back and align with each other as well. So like I said, no one's perfect. We don't have the perfect relationship. Anybody that says they do, they're lying, to be honest. It's a front, because a real authentic relationship, any relationships, friendships, everything comes from really honest conversations. And I've had some really honest ones with my friends as well. It's not easy, guys. So yeah, that's just something that I just wanted to touch upon with things. So I might leave it there. Sorry if I've touched on things that we've gone through before, but I really just wanted to touch base on the fact that I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really strong. I was going to do a meditation and I can do one, but I might just have to break it up into bits because Oakley is about to wake up. I can see her on the monitor. So I just need to see if she's going to keep getting woken up or if I can keep going with this. I think yep, she's gone back to sleep, so that's good. So what we might do is I might just go through it with you guys for 5 minutes. And if she wakes up in between, I will come back to it. So if you are sitting or laying, either way, I would just give you a couple of seconds to kind of figure out how you're going to go into a bit of a meditation. Now, I'm going to say to you, if you're more of a visual person, then visualize things. And if you're more of a feeling and sense person, then sense it as best as you possibly can. The aim of the game with this is normally, I would say, if I had a client come to me and we were talking, I would say, whatever sensor is strongest, try use the other. Try focus. So if you can see, try feel. Feeling is important for women, and most women can't feel with inside their body. So there comes a little bit of a time where you just have to breathe in and breathe out and just focus on your body and the feeling of your body. And that can be really scary for people. So we're going to do that very gently. So if you've got yourself all organized now, I want you to close your eyes nice and deeply. And I want you to start with your breath. So you're going to dive deep into breathing through your nose nice and deeply. And then out through your nose nice and deeply. In through your nose nice and deeply. And then out through your nose nice and deeply. I want you to follow along with that rhythm, nice and deeply breathing in through your nose, nice and deeply relaxing your body, your shoulders and your jaw, and then releasing as you breathe through your nose. I want you to keep going with that rhythm. And I want you to remember every time that your mind starts to wander, come back to the rhythm of your breath. Try and breathe as deeply as you possibly can from your underneath your ribs. So taking a nice deep inhale breath under your ribs and then out through your ribs is what I'm talking about. And it's basically like when you breathe in, your whole center should cave in, and then when you breathe out nice and deeply, it should push out through your rib cage there. So following that rhythm of taking a nice inhale through your nose and then out through your nose. Breathing nice and deeply in the best rhythm that you possibly can. And I really want you to focus on my voice and focus on your breath. If you keep wandering, and if your mind keeps wandering, focus back on the breath. I want you to focus on the word Om as you're breathing. And I want you to kind of sense your body as you're breathing Om in and Om out. I want you to see and feel your body melting away. If you're sitting, having your hips melt away onto the ground. And if you're laying, I want you to visualize your whole body going deep, deep, deep into the ground, getting covered with the earth, feeling the earth around you. And the same for your hips. Feel like there's roots pulling you into the ground. Feel the sense, the tingling, feel everything that you can inside your body. But remember to breathe in and out through the nose. As you breathe in, Om, as you breathe out, Om. And feeling your body resting for a moment on the ground. As we keep going, I want you to just slowly focus on this. And I want you to slowly focus on what you can feel or see. Focus on grounding your body into the earth. Grounding yourself into the earth. See and sense the forest colours, the dirt between your legs, on your back and see yourself falling and falling and falling, like you're dropping through the earth like Alice in Wonderland. And if you're having trouble with this, just breathe through your nose and out through your nose and try your best to just relax and follow. Falling down, falling down. Remembering the word om as you fall and you hit the ground, being covered with forest greens of leaves and trees. And I want you just to sit in this for a moment, and I want you to feel how strong and grounded you are in yourself. I want you to feel the strength of yourself. I want you to feel the best version that you can of yourself right now. I want you to feel your body melting into the earth, opening up with the earth and feeling it. Like you're in a deep, dark forest and you can sense and feel your body moving and breathing, coming back to that breath as best as possible. Allowing yourself to breathe through any comfortability that you're feeling and feel yourself nice and strong. Focusing on any colours that you see, how the earth and the texture feels, and I want you to feel that inside your body. So I want you to feel like there's energy moving down from the ground up through your body, like you feel strong and this sense of power and this sense of opening that you've never felt before. Sitting in it, feeling how strong you are. Focusing on the breath, focusing on om, and focusing on your body and yourself. Feeling how grounded you feel, how solid you feel, how switched on and open you feel. I'm just going to leave you for a couple of seconds to just really feel into your body and allow yourself to feel how you're feeling, whatever's going through your mind and however it's processing. So I want you to take note for when you wake up from this meditation on how you're feeling right now. I want you to feel yourself pull back into your body like you're laying on the ground in the room. And I want you just to focus back on your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. I'm going to leave it here and I'm going to let you enjoy being with yourself. And if you wish to sit longer, sit longer. If you wish to journal, if you wish to write, whatever you feel, you do. Thanks for being here, guys, and I'll see you next week.